Okay, so hello all and welcome to this Foundation of Cybersecurity course. I hope you all have seen the Moodle page. You have gone through the Moodle page where actually I have listed different chapters. I will come to those Moodle once we are done with this introductory class. So first thing, let me introduce myself. Okay, so my name is Prabhat Kumar, and I'm working as a postdoctoral researcher with the Department of Software Engineering. And I did my PhD from MIT Raipur in India. And here, actually, I'm working on cybersecurity, basically on AI for cybersecurity, and I use blockchain. We also have a lab here, Chain Lab, where actually we are developing different methods using AI. It is on this floor where actually this class is, extreme end of this floor, where we are using different IoT devices and we are trying to mimic different attack scenarios. And we are also using different, as I said, AI and blockchain for enhancing security and privacy of smart systems. So basically, they are IoT devices, and we are trying to make some smart home, you can say, or different smart systems. And we want to deploy these methods over there to see how actually we can enhance overall security and privacy. So this is actually what we are doing right now in LUT in our chain lab. And so before I go into this course, the first thing is we should what I want to share with you all is first thing is, do we think cybersecurities are real, or it is just a theoretical concept that we are here means that we are learning? So what do you think? Is cybersecurity or cyber attacks are real, or just they come on newspaper and we just read and we just go away? What do you think? Is it real? Do we experience cyber attacks in real time? Personally, do we experience?
We cyber attacks with cyber mails or like these phishing mails. And sometimes we do see outrages when institutions like Twitter and or some Microsoft outrage is there, which is based on some kind of cyber attack. So there was one software company which used to provide cloud services, Sunplayer or something, which was attacked using cyber. And it led to servers getting down for quite a long time in US.
Okay, so this phishing that you said, phishing email, this is also a type of cyber attack.
A person could experience things like phishing attacks or malware attacks.
Yes.
But then for organizations, attacks are mainly focused on data breaches or stealing the information. So mainly attacks like phishing as well. There's also that, but then attacks like taking access or and breaching the system or breaching the data are quite common for organizations.
So what do you think is the main goal of these attackers, if they are using phishing or if they are trying to do these data breaches?
Trying to get information
from information. Okay, yeah. So we will see in this course how if you see the title of the course is not information security. So information security itself is a different domain, and over here we are trying to understand cybersecurity, which actually takes many concepts are overlapping with information security. But we will see how information security and cybersecurity is also different. For example, all examples that we saw in this class, like you gave and Ajish gave, all these examples are directly related to information security. They are not related, or in the broader concept, it is directly related to information or data. But we will see how cybersecurity is little bit different, or it has more concepts compared to information security, I would say. So this was the last. This actually is a screenshot that actually this phishing email actually came last year, and when Kari Somalander was our head of the Department of Software Engineering. And if you see, I think I don't understand, but yeah, I think he is asking for some help or something like that. If I'm correct. So many people actually got this phishing email in our department, and the good thing is, like, after when these things came, we realized it was not only Kari. There were many other people whose name were used, and email were sent to different people. So what changes LUT did? So it is also very exciting to know what changes LUT did. So if you see these three screenshots, you can see here, with every email, we can see, like, if I go back, this one, let's see this one. So this email actually came to Damian in our department, and if you see, there is content, message content is there in this email. But now what changes LUT has done, whenever you get an email from outside, they now mention this explicitly, this email has came from outside. So this is the step that LUT has taken after so many phishing emails came last year. So you can imagine how security actually is needed to evolve. So whatever system you have, whatever software you are using, but you cannot say this actually can protect you completely. You need to evolve, and you need to do some changes. So now if any email comes, as I said, from any external source, so you will see just below this header, where you see this Gmail, they just mention in a yellow box, this email is from outside, and you need to take some precaution, so preventive, I would say, control when you access those emails. So this is something that we in our university, we are seeing this phishing emails on a very large scale, and still we are seeing it. This year also we saw many phishing emails from different people in our department. But again, if I say, like, it's not only about phishing emails. So if you see in a broader concept, this I have taken from a news article, and if you see in this, what actually hacker were doing, they actually hacked, they performed this data breach, and they were able to access this health data of Finnish mental health patients. So initially, what happened in this attack? Initially, they were asking for some ransom from the company itself. Then they realized it is better to ask the patient itself. So they emailed, I think, 10,000 people directly, and they asked 500 or some euros from them, and they also gave them some threat, like if they will not transfer the money, they are going to leak their all information, personal information, what they have. And this healthcare data is actually is something that all agencies that actually have this data, they need to protect this data. They need to follow some guidelines. So it should not be available to everyone, because it has many personal information. It can also have bank information and many other things. So you can see hackers, they are or the attackers, they are not limited with the department or with the people. They also attack different organizations to get ransom or ransomware from the people or from the organization. And if I go little bigger, so if you see in this slide, now we are talking about this Russian cyber attack, which actually happened in whole Finland. So it's not individual, it's not the organization, it's also about the whole country. So they can also target the whole country, and they can try to mess different things. So if you see this article, they are talking about denial of service attack. So in denial of service, so the attacker wants that the legitimate user should not be able to access the service. So he wants the legal or the authorized user, somehow they should not be able to access the information that are for them. And they attempted to spread different malwares in the system. As you can see, this information was given by the general of Trafficom, and ultimately the ultimate goal was to make all systems slow. Means they want to make, yes, inaccessible, and to make the system slow, I would say. Yeah. So in this slide, if you see, it's not only about making down the making service inaccessible. It's also about damaging. It's also about damaging different infrastructures. So if you see this slide, I'm talking about two major drone attack, which actually was done in Saudi Arabia oil installment plant, in which actually, if you see, US blames Iran, and there were some reasons why actually it happened. But if you see the attack, when actually attack begin, so the attack begins at 4 a.m. So there is a very common trend. So whenever you have some attacks or data breaches, they generally happen when most of the people sleep. So this is a very common trend you will see. Most of the attacks or data breaches are going to happen between 1 a.m. to 4 or 5 a.m. This is the peak time when the attackers target any institutions or anything, I would say. So this you will see when you will read more and more articles. But the thing is, in this drone strike, if you see, they were able to shut down around 5% of world's daily crude oil production. It is world's daily 5%. It's not about the country. It is about the world, and which actually led to the surge. The price went up 20% because of this drone strike on Saudi Arabia. So as I said, US was blaming Iran, and this is the actual pictures I want to show you, where actually the drones were used to strike different points in the whole this oil and gas infrastructure. And these were the other four points where the damage was caused by by the strike. And this was the missile which actually was used, and which they claim it is very much close to Iran missile which they use. And this actually was one of the missile which didn't hit the right place, and they have this wreckage with them, and which they actually used to claim Iran was responsible for this whole damage. And then in retaliation, US attacked Iran, and over on his general in Baghdad. Qasim was the general at that time, and they were able to attack this guy when he was in Baghdad airport. So why I'm showing you these things? Like, I started with phishing email. Then I told you how cyber attacks can go towards an organization. Then I told you, okay, so cyber attacks are not limited to organization, but they can also go to a country level. Then somehow I showed you, okay, so it's not about data, it is also about people, it is also about infrastructure. So they are not just targeting information, but they are also interested in targeting the whole infrastructure that we saw, that oil and gas plant. And then in this slide, you can see they are also targeting with this drone. They're targeting humans. So if you analyze this whole thing, then you will understand it is not only information, it is everything that is available in the cyberspace. So when I say cyberspace, it means every infrastructure, people, devices, everything that actually you can connect with internet. So if you see in this whole scenario of, let's say, this US strike or the Iran strike, the main thing was they used this drone. So how drone works? So drone first does some surveillance. So it is connected with internet, and it gathers some information illegally, I would say. And once it finds its spot, the right place, then it fires, or it does whatever thing it has been sent. I mean, to destroy the place or whatever it is. So you see, the main thing, what the summary that I can say from all these incidents is, like, cybersecurity is actually a very current and very serious problem. And why we are facing this problem is we are going towards more digitalization. So as we do more digitalization, this cybersecurity will become a big problem. So this problem will not be limited to data or information. As I said, it is going to impact infrastructure, which actually uses internet, and ultimately the human who actually are controlling those plants or who actually are using those information. For example, if you attack a data center, so if you do a drone strike on a data center, yes, you will destroy some information, but you will also be able to destroy the people over there who are working. So maybe you can perform data breach, and at the same time, you can destroy the infrastructure and you can kill the people who actually are working there. Because ultimately, people are also the resource of any organization, right? So, so, so the summary is cybersecurity is going to impact individuals, organizations, society, and of course, government, whoever it is. Whoever works in cyberspace, they are going to be get impacted because of different cyber attacks. Yeah. So, but what is security? This is the main term that we are here to know. So if I define security in one line, so security is the quality or state of being secure or to be free from danger. So in one line, we can define security is like this, but it is but the security is actually is protecting these all infrastructure that I talked about, individual, organization, society, government. We want to protect them from adversaries, which actually are going to be responsible for loss, risk of loss. They are going to damage, as I said, they can damage infrastructure, they can damage the resources, information, and they also from unwanted modification and also other hazards. So there will be many hazards that actually can be man-made, and there can be some hazards which actually can be natural. So we will see those things also, how actually those things can impact. So we want to have so we want to make sure we are free from these risks that we are discussing here. But the thing is, if you work or if you see any organization that actually is there or which actually does some work, you will see there is some common features that actually they have, and that common feature is they always have multiple layer of security. So they don't rely on single security layer. They always have multiple security layers because, as I said, there will be different things in an organization which actually is going to use or 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 they are going to analyze or they are going to, related to data. So if you see, physical security can be one of them. So in if I talk about our university, so you can see physical security is about unauthorized access, right? We have our this magnetic key. So if you have this magnetic key, people who have this access can only come to the university. If you don't have magnetic key, maybe you can have some security guards and who actually can check your identity card. It is also very common in India. So in many institutions, we don't have magnetic key. So there you have security guard. They are going to check your ID. If you show them you have the ID card, then you are okay. You can go inside. But if your ID card says that your year is valid till 2023 or 2022, then it means there is an alert. They will not allow you to enter the university. And same goes with the magnetic key. They have the access for a particular period of time. So once the access goes, you cannot enter this whole university. So you will see organization always had different levels of security. The first one is physical security. Then the personal security. So personal security is going to vary from people to people. Maybe the students or the professors may not have personal security, but in many organizations, different people who actually run the whole university, they also have personal security with them. It's not common here, but yeah, at many places you will see they have their own security people working with them just to protect them from individuals or maybe from other groups. Then we have this operation security, which actually focuses on different operations. So operation in the sense, we can have one operation which actually is responsible to collect and give you, like, let's say, to allocate classroom. So this is also one operation in this university. How you are going to allocate classroom, how you are going to manage different student, in which section, in which course, or in which department actually they are going to work. So these all things comes under one operation, and as I said, a successful organization is going to manage is also going to focus to protect different operations which actually are responsible to perform different tasks in an organization. Then there can be communication security, for example, our web page. So we don't want our web page of LUT to be hacked by someone and they should throw some message on on our web page. So you will see there are some security levels has been made by the university or by different organizations to protect their different media outlets. It can be your web page, it can be your content actually which you have showed on your web page. Maybe you might have noticed, like many of the web pages, they don't give you the option of right click, so you cannot copy the content from the web page. So they have their own way to way to protect their data, I would say. Then network security. Network security means you want to have you want to access internet, and there will be different components that is responsible for sharing this data, maybe routers, switches, modems, and so on. So you need to protect these things. Maybe you can deploy different firewalls. You can use intrusion detection systems to protect from unauthorized access or to protect these devices. And finally, we also have this information security, which actually is responsible for securing this database, where finally your whole information is being stored. For example, the grades that you get. So it is very easy, if you don't protect your database, someone can manipulate your grades, and any student can give him or herself 555 for any courses. So you need to have some level of protection for the database, for analytics that actually you're going to perform using some servers, and so on. So if you see this different levels of security that I'm trying to show over on the screen, you see most of them are being practiced by every institutions or every organization. Even though we are an organization which is educational organization, but still we are following most of these practices in our institution. So now you can think how much these things are critical when you are dealing with all these things from a business point of view, where actually you are doing a business from your organization. So you need to have all these levels of security in order to make your organization successful. So what do you think? Do we need these things? Yes? Yes, okay. Yeah, but there will be some confusion when you will read some research articles, or maybe if you read some textbook, you will see these are three terms which people actually are going to use for cybersecurity, right? They may use cyberspace security, cyber hyphen security, and cybersecurity. So which one you think is correct?
Last one.
Which one?
C.
C?
Yes, C. I think all are correct. A and C are quite common to use, but then B is a bit rare to see.
Okay. How about you? Do you think which one is correct? Do you think anyone is correct?
The course name is important.
Yes, yes, you're right. In the course name, it is C. Yeah, but I used to prefer the last one, so I am using the last one. But yeah, you can use any one of them, because there is no spelling for cybersecurity. You can use anyone. If I talk about Europe, in Europe, they use cyberspace security. If I talk about America, they use cybersecurity in one word. And as we do research, so we submit our research articles, and most of the journals are US based. So we practice. I practice cybersecurity. So this is why you see the course also has without any space. So it is just for the information that you should be aware of. So there is no preferred spelling for this course. You can use hyphen, cybersecurity, whatever you want. You think. Yeah. But coming back to the same thing, what we were discussing earlier. So as I said, cybersecurity is a word which you will see is often used interchangeably with information security, as I said. And if you see the textbook that I have asked, or I have asked to follow in this course, it also says principles of information security. It doesn't say foundation or something related to cybersecurity. So as I said earlier, so the most of the incidents that we discussed before going to the slides, they were related to data, phishing, data breaches, everything was data. But then I told you it's not only about data, it's also about the people who actually are going to use the data. It is also about the infrastructure where actually you are going to you're going to have your infrastructure, which actually is needed to operate the data. If you don't have your infrastructure, you won't be able to access or to operate the data. Even though your data is stored on cloud, but still you need an infrastructure where those storage is going to be done. So you will see cybersecurity actually uses many concepts from information security. So it has some overlapping concepts from information security. However, if I talk about like these incidents of cyber, for example, I'm giving some examples here. For one of the example is cyberbullying, where actually people use cyberspace to how can I say to manipulate or to play with your emotions in a simple way. So they want to bully. It can be this bully thing can be in terms of many things. Try to harm you psychologically. Yes. Psychologically, they want to harm you. They want to damage the equipment. I have given you many examples. Media piracy, cyber terrorism. We saw some incident of cyber terrorism also that attacks and so on. So if you see, the common thing among all these things are cyberspace, which actually is beyond information. So this is very important that we need to understand in this course. So cybersecurity is beyond information. It's not only about the data or information that we actually use in our day-to-day life. It includes everything that is available in your cyberspace that you think is connected. Somehow it is connected with internet, or it is linked with internet and it is being used. Everything. And of course, we people are part of it. You cannot have information, or there is no, or you cannot process, or you cannot use information without people. So people are also one of the main resources of any organization. So yes, and also it is there in the slides. It includes humans as a source and target of security. Yeah, but if I talk about the definition of cybersecurity, if you want to read the actual definition, it has been given by International Telecommunication Union in 2008. So this is a broad definition of cybersecurity, which actually says it is a collection of tools. So tools actually can have many things. We saw you can have intrusion detection system, firewalls, right? So these tools actually can come under the cybersecurity. You can have different policies. Policies can be, for example, the organization can have policies for passwords, uppercase, lowercase, one numbers, special characters. So there can be different policies for different operations. Security concepts. So security concepts is very big, but still, if I talk about security concept, it can be access control. It can be how actually you want to control the access of different people in organization, how you want to authorize, how you want to authenticate these people. So these all things will come under concepts. Security safeguard. So security safeguard can also IDS can one of the security safeguard. You can have different guidelines. For example, when you join LUT, they ask you to do
Difference between security policies and concepts, right? Does the policy signify your more on a larger geographical context where we have like a finished policy rule, or like you said, IPU 2008? Are those is what it means with policy, and the security concepts are like more the norms that are being followed. So, for example, when we access university here, we have to use our magnetic key or something. So, maybe a security concept of.
No, policy actually is.
I want a bit of difference.
So policy itself is a very big term, and we have one chapter on policy, on information, on the cybersecurity. So policy actually can be divided into two different segments, where I need to see that right now. I don't have that in my mind, but in information security or in cybersecurity, policies actually govern the whole things in an organization. So we will have one complete chapter on policies, and we will see that in a very detail what these policies are. So whatever you see in this slide after a comma, they actually are somehow they are one unit in our whole course. So we have tried to cover all these things one by one in our course. So guidelines. So you will see there are different guidelines. Then we have this risk management approaches. You need to identify, you need to prioritize what are the risks, and then you need to prepare some guidelines, and then you need to see how you can neutralize those risks. Actions, training. As I said, when we join this any organization, when you join, they have some IT training that you need to pass. They give you some basic information about the institution, some best practices that you were asking. So means those things we should use magnetic things. So they have, every organization is going to have some best practices. So we will see what is the difference between policy, guideline, and practices. So there is a difference between these three things, even though they look very much similar, but there is a huge difference between these three things, and we will see these things in details. Assurance, and of course the technologies that we actually are going to use to protect this cyber environment. So now cyber environment and organization and also user assets. But if I talk about organization and user assets, so in terms of organization and user assets, it actually includes everything that you can connect with internet, and you can see in this slide also. There means I'm talking about the computing devices, the personal infrastructure, application services, telecommunication systems, and totality of transmitted or stored information in the whole cyber environment. So now I think you can realize what actually we are talking about when I say cybersecurity, or when I say about cyberspace. You should get a whole cyberspace in your mind, what actually I'm talking about, and where actually these things are, if you see in your day-to-day life. So actually, so then again, cybersecurity actually ensures the attainment and maintenance of this cybersecurity properties of the organizations and users' assets against relevant security risk in cyber environment. And ultimately, you will see this cybersecurity or security has these three objectives: availability, integrity, and confidentiality. So maybe you can read it like CIA, CIA TRAD. But this integrity is will also include some other factors like authenticity and non-repudiations. So we will discuss these things in our upcoming slides. What this availability is, where you want to make sure the resources should be available for the people who are authorized to access those resources. So if I am a teacher, if you are a student, so you should be able to access Moodle. So LUT needs to make sure that the resources are available for legal people. Then if I talk about integrity, so you don't want the data that has been stored in whatever form you have stored, you don't want that to be manipulated. So you don't want the data. I mean, I'm talking in terms of data, but this integrity can actually be in terms of many things. So you don't want, like, the data that the marks, for example, that I have given you, the score that I have given you, it should not be manipulated. Then we have this confidentiality. Confidentiality actually means, let's say if I have a box and if I write it is highly confidential and it should be delivered to the head of the department, then it means no one is going to open that box if you write this thing on that box, highly confidential.
Protection from unauthorized.
Yes. So we will see these things, where actually these things CIA actually can come, and CIA can come into various things in this whole cyberspace. Yeah, but coming back to information security, I'm just giving you the this information security definition. So if you see, information security is actually the preservation of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, the CIA that I talked about. And you can also read about this in ISO IEC 27002 in 2005, page number 1, from where this actually has been taken on. The second definition, the second definition is about it's not only means the information security is not only related to confidentiality, integrity, and availability, but if you go into our textbook, this Whitman, you will see it also talks about protection of information and its critical elements that we saw, which actually is going to include systems and hardware, which actually is going to use, store, and transmit this information. Also, we need to understand this information security is not a product or a technology, but it is but it is a process, right? Because if you see initially 2 years back for phishing email, we didn't had any message, right? Now, but we have a message. If some email comes from outside source, you get information on your email which says this email is from outside. So it is an ongoing process. So it is not, you cannot say if you have if you can use a particular technology and you can secure the information. So but still, if you see all these three different definitions that I have shared here, it is all about information and how actually we can maintain some properties or characteristics of information, like manipulation. You don't want to have unauthorized access in terms of this confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And of course, we will also see that like information security is not only about this CIA. It also has some other characteristics, like as I said, authentication can be there, access control can be there, and authorization. So we will see these concepts in our upcoming slides, means upcoming classes. Okay, so this was the class, but now let me go to the Moodle page so that we can know what actually things we have. So this was the introductory class, where actually I want to let you know how information security and cybersecurity is different, even though they share lots of similar concepts. So if you go to this Moodle page, you will see the first 6 chapters. They actually are from our textbook, which is the first one, Principles of Information Security. So we are following this book in this course for first 6 chapters. So you can get all these concepts that I am discussing there in this textbook. Also, for as a reference, I have added 5th edition in this Moodle page, which actually has almost everything which is there in this 7th edition. You will see there are some figures, and maybe some figures have been added new, but almost I have read or I have seen like almost all concepts are same in 7th and 5th edition. But still, if you want to buy or see this 7th edition, you can buy from Cengage, and also you can access this book ebook if you want. I don't know whether this book is there in library or not, but yeah, but this is the book that actually we are going to follow for the whole course.
After that, we get this book.
Okay. So if it is like that, maybe you can ask the library, yeah, to get this book, because most of the concepts that we are going to see are going to be from this book, as I said. So the first chapter actually is about introduction of cybersecurity that we saw right now. In the next class, we will see what the CIA is in more details, what the CIA is with some examples, and we will discuss a case study of Target. So Target is a company. If I can go in, let's say in the second one. Okay, so I have here one Target case study. So I will in the next class, so your work would be to read this Target case study, because we are going to discuss this Target case study in the class based on the CIA concept. So whatever concept you will learn, we will see these concepts with some case study that actually has happened in this real world. So I will add one more Target case study in this slide. So you will have 2 files. So it's complete. You will be having 2 file in this Moodle page. So you can download any one of them and you can read. So I would recommend the other one that I'm going to upload, that will be directly aligned with our course. So you can read that one, but you can still go with this one, a Target case study, which is there in this page. So it is very important that you read this, because with the whole discussion is going to be around this case study. So I would recommend everyone to read this case study in the next class when we are here. So, and the third is about security management. We will see what is governance, risk, and compliance. What are the standards which different organizations actually use for implementing this security in their organization. Then we will see contingency planning. So, okay, so now once the incident has happened, now what actually you can do? So we will see what planning is needed once the incident actually has happened. Then we will talk about cybersecurity policy that he asked. So we will go through different types of cybersecurity policy and how actually these policies are being used in an organization. Chapter 6 will talk about risk management. So we will see how we can identify, we can prioritize on how we can utilize the risk. So chapter 4 is when the incident has happened. So you will see there's a difference between chapter 4 and chapter 6, whereas chapter 6 talks about your pre-planning or what measures actually you want to do to control the risks not to happen, but it is going to happen. Whatever you do, it will happen. So you need to have this contingency planning. So we will also read one case study, what actually how and what we can do for this planning once the incident actually has happened. In chapter 7, we will see some from industry perspective. We will see what are the different defense technologies like IDS, firewall. We will see how actually these things actually work. We will also see different attacks and exploits things. We will see how a threat becomes an attack, and how it actually exploits the vulnerability in a system, and how there will be many threats, and how it is going to exploit a vulnerability in a system, and it will become an attack. We will see these things with a scenario. And in chapter 8, we will see different technologies that people are using, and these three are the ones we will use. We will see access control, we will see encryption, and also we will see blockchain. How actually we can use how people means how organizations are using these technologies for enhancing security and privacy. So there are 3 textbooks, but I would recommend to use the first one because the first one is more management oriented because we are from software engineering department. So the whole course has been designed thinking from management point of view. So as you go to an organization from a software engineering department, it means you will be doing more management part, not developing part. So this the whole course is being seen from that lens. But still, we will see 20 or 15%. We will see how actually these technologies can actually be developed. We will also see those things because ultimately, if you don't know how actually those things works, it is very difficult to manage those things. It means these technologies or the security point from security point of view. I mean. So so the first unit will not have any assignments. But the thing is, there will be 7 assignments in this whole course. I think one after once you complete the second unit, second chapter, one assignment I will put there, and those assignment is going to have multiple choice question, true, false, or match the following, something like that you can do online on Moodle. There will be no exam, final exam, nothing like that in this course. But yeah, of course, there will be one presentation in this course which each participant has to give. They need to decide what topic they want to give this presentation, and we will try to wrap up that presentation in November itself. We will not go to till December. This presentation is going to be somehow we will place this in November once this risk management chapter gets over. So we will be in continuation till risk management chapter. So once the risk management chapter is gets finished, then we will come to this presentation thing also. And I think till this chapter, all your assignment will also will get over. Yeah. So this is the thing. So you can always go through this this book, Principles of Information Security, and yeah.
We have 6th edition of this book in our library.
Oh, you have 6th edition? Okay, it's good. Then maybe if you have 6th edition, you can go through 6th edition, and most of the units that actually we are going to see is going to be from this book itself. I mean, yes. So, do you have any queries or something to ask? Maybe I will stop the recording. Yeah.